going to be a hot day ahead here in North Texas, back on the home lake, Joe Pool. Windy day ahead of us, so I'll probably be looking for coves and shoreline areas that are somewhat protected from the wind, and maybe some points as well that don't have too much wind coming across them, so it'll be a little bit easier for me to fish. So maybe doing some deeper water fishing today with some Ned rigs, deeper diving crankbaits, to see if I can find some. Been a few days since I've been out on the lake. May check out the creeks as well, but I don't know that I'll be able to get into some of them just because the lake level's been dropping, and some of them have some pretty shallow points in front of them that make it difficult to get in low water levels. But anyway, just gonna explore the lake today and have some fun fishing, so appreciate you tuning in and checking out the video, and let's go see if we can put some fish in the boat. All right, let's go see if we can find them in the creek, because they ain't here. Well, I tried the main lake for a couple hours and just no luck, so thought I'd tuck back here in the creek where it's a little easier to fish in the wind, and I'm seeing bass busting shad everywhere, so hopefully we'll be able to hook up on one. I don't think they're huge bass, but nonetheless, they seem to be actively feeding, so we'll give it a shot back here. Because I wasn't doing it on the main lake. I tried several different ways to catch them and no bites. And the wind made it difficult, and the boat traffic was starting to pick up, which just makes it even tougher. So the water looks good. It's nice and clear, although this appears to be clearing as well, so we'll give it a shot back in here and see if we can find some. But seeing bass feeding on shad is a good sign. Oh, there's a fish where I saw one jump earlier. On the board. Took a while. Thank you. Nice little 1-pounder. That's a good fish. Got him off the lay down. Probably go 2 pounds. Kind of surprised me, he just swallowed it. But again, coming up off a stump, and he nailed it. I guess I just need to stick with this creek fishing instead of trying out in the main lake for some variety. They seem to still be stacked back in here. So let's not mess with success. You can tell from the light color that the water's still pretty stained back here, but that's a healthy couple of pounds maybe. Thank you, sir. I was watching an interesting video that Edwin Evers had on his YouTube channel dealing with throwing crankbaits in the summer. And the advice he gave was to look at the water clarity of the area that you're fishing and then kind of target crankbaits and areas that are about twice the depth of what you can see in terms of water clarity. So for instance, if you can see 4 foot down, then you probably want to fish your crankbait in kind of a depth range of 7 to 9 feet, somewhere around there. And I thought that's pretty good advice. It seems to be paying off back here as well today, because at best we've got maybe 12 inches or so of clarity back here. So using his advice, you would fish, somewhere in the 1 to 3 foot range. And I've got a fairly shallow running crankbait that I'm throwing, this little squarebill. And the fish I've connected up with so far today have come from about 1 to 3 foot of water, fairly shallow. So, and I hope I can extend that advice to things besides just crankbaits. Maybe also the same may be true for soft plastics or vibrating jigs, spinnerbaits, or whatever. So I'll take Edwin's advice and give that a shot back here. But so far the fishing back here has been better than the main lake. I just didn't have any success out there, but I've seen fish actively feeding back here, fairly shallow, chasing shad. So we'll kind of look for spots that have structure in the 1 to 3 foot range and kind of bounce it off that stuff and see if we can put a few more fish in the boat today. There he is. A shady spot if he is a stop. He ate it immediately. That's what I was afraid of. Let's get these out of your face. Oops. Another 1.5 pound fish. Nice. Go, maybe. Oh, dummy me, not paying attention. There we go. A little one, but shallow up against a lay down. So the pattern's holding. I'm still seeing lots of shad in the creek. And they are sitting very shallow against structure still. But it's fun to catch some fish, even if they are little. Little dink. Right on that brush file. A little 1.25 pounds or so. But again, hitting the square bill right against the brush. go. This is a white bass. That's a good largemouth maybe. That's a largemouth. Real subtle bite. Appears to be a good sized fish. I haven't really seen him yet. There it is. I go 3 pounds maybe. He's off because I didn't use a net. Whoa. Hopefully it stays hooked up. Oh, it snagged him sideways. That's why it felt so good. Getting the dinks in the boat, just not the big ones. One. Barely hooked. Yay. Some fish, good fish. Get this one in, since I've been having trouble with the good ones. 2.5 pounds. Like the last one barely hooked. One little hook in it. Oh, come on. Two hooks in you. Couple pounds, but they're getting bigger. Nice fish. Colors are coming back too, so maybe the water's a little clearer back here, but square bill's paying off. All right, gonna wrap it up. Fished Main Lake early in the day, no luck whatsoever, so I moved back to the creek and caught some fish. pretty good numbers today, but they were all small fish. The two best fish I hooked, I just couldn't get in the boat. One was barely hooked on a back treble hook on a crankbait, and I just couldn't get her lifting into the boat. Should have used the net. The other one, I just couldn't keep her buttoned up and get her in. But at the end of the day, they're really dialed in on the shad, and that chrome squarebill seems to be the ticket. Tried lots of different things, Ned rigs, craws, lizards, worms, deep crankbaits, all types of stuff, but just couldn't get a bite on anything. They were up shallow and wanted the chrome squarebill, so that's what all the fish came on today. Pretty small fish, but nonetheless it was a fun day out on the lake, so appreciate you tuning in, stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next one.